So let's have a little chat, shall we? Let's have a little occult chat. This is your host, the Occult View. Ay, 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 ay. Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia. It's a whole lot of shit going on as usual. It's a whole lot of shit going on, y'all. We're on the brink of, I guess you can say, world clashes. I'm not going to say World War III because I don't think that World War III is going to play out like previous wars, like with World War I and World War II. You know, quiet as it's kept, we've already had World War III. We've already had it. We had it 20 years ago. So this will be World War IV. People need to catch up. Yeah, people need to catch up. We've already had World War III. But now there are reports that Iran is attacking U.S. bases in Syria. Let me say this right quick before I get into what I really want to talk about, because what I really want to talk about is that bill that they passed in Uganda to ban anyone and criminalize anyone that identifies as a gay person or lesbian or bisexual or anything that falls under the umbrella of LGBT. And I stick with LGBT. I don't go with all of the other letters. LGBT or the gay community, whatever. Truthfully, I just like to say the gay community. So anyway, I want to talk about that. But before I talk about that, let me finish with this. The United States is not in a position to go at it or to have a full scale escalation or a full scale war or confrontation with China or Russia. That is why the United States has taken a back seat to a lot of conflicts, because what we have done in the past 30 odd years or so, we have really drained a lot of our resources. Our military is overworked, they are underpaid, they are stretched too thin. Our weapon systems are not up to date the way that they should be, no matter what they tell you. We're really not in good shape to be going to war with China over no motherfucking Taiwan. So, if there's any war, truthfully, a lot of these countries are not even up to par to go to war with the United States either. We can't believe the hype. Truthfully, if there's going to be a war, it's going to be more along the lines of maybe an economic war. You know what I mean? Or it's going to be a silent war, and it won't involve bombs or nuclear weapons. It's not going to involve that. Nuclear weapons are used as a deterrence. And you know what? Putin is doing a damn good job deterring the United States. So is China, and so is North Korea. I'm just saying. They're doing a good job of that. So, but I just wanted to get my little take on that little tidbit. Now, let me talk about what I really wanted to talk about. And this may be a long video. It may not be, depending on how long I feel like talking. I don't know. But let's have a conversation. And I know this is going to bring out the worst in people because people are so invested in what other people do in the bedroom, what other adults do in their bedroom, and it's not that I really give a fuck because I'm not looking for global validation. I'm not looking for community validation. I don't care who likes me or dislikes me because I'm gay. I'm a big boy. I put on my big boy pants and I deal with me the best way I know how. So what the world think, I really don't give a fuck. And that's how I carry myself. I don't give a fuck what you niggas think. I don't give a fuck what no bitches think. I am me. And that's just the way that it is. And I like the way God made me, or whatever you want to call it, or how I made myself when I was in my godly image. Okay? And can't no motherfucking nigga in Uganda, can't no motherfucking nigga in the United States, can't no motherfucking body take away what God put forth. And I don't give a fuck what none of you motherfuckers say. You can quote scriptures. You can stick them up your motherfucking ass. I really don't give a fuck. I am a proud black man who happens to be gay. I want to say that first. And I don't give a fuck what none of you motherfuckers think about that. Because most of you motherfuckers don't even validate yourselves. You're looking for somebody else to validate you. That is why I don't mind being an outcast. Because I don't want to be around most of you motherfuckers anyway. Anyway. So I don't mind being an outcast. Because I have more freedom than most of you. Okay? And I'm not talking to the people that rock with me. Let me be clear. I always say that. I'm talking to the people that applies to. Especially the comments. Child, let me just get into it. So as we all know, it's been circulating and trending in social media. Uganda passed a bill that bans, prohibits anyone in Uganda for identifying with being part of the LGBT community. And within that bill, they also encourage family members to turn their gay relatives in to the Ugandan authorities if they discover they are committing any type of homosexual acts. Now, let me tell you what the punishment is for these types of things. You will either be put to death, or you will go to jail for life or for a very long time. One of the three, okay? Those are the punishments for being a homosexual person in Uganda. Isn't Uganda where that cannibal is from, Idi Amin? That evil, disgusting dictator that liked to eat people? Anyway, just a question. Here's where I'm at with this. I don't give a fuck what Uganda does in their country. I really don't. I feel bad for the gay people of course, I have compassion for the gay people that have to go through that in that country. But I'm really not here to argue whether what they're doing is right or wrong, because that would open up a portal for me to care on a personal level what they think about me. Or that would make me or put me in a position of needing or wanting validation from motherfuckers that don't know me and motherfuckers that will never know me and motherfuckers I don't give a fuck about. Because I don't give a fuck about that parliament or whatever that is over there in Uganda. I don't give a fuck about them motherfucking monster face motherfucking niggas over there. I don't care nothing about them. And I don't give a fuck who gets offended by me saying that, because we all know that black Africans are evil and nasty and homophobic, and they're intolerant, and they do not like black Americans. They are very racist and they're very discriminatory. And I don't give a fuck who gets mad. I said it and I ain't taking it back. You can bite your tongue. You can gash out your fucking teeth. I don't give a fuck. Take it, leave it, love it. I don't give a fuck. But it's interesting when a lot of those African men come over to the United States, they try to put dick up in me and put it in my mouth. Interesting. So this is where I'm at with it. We understand that African countries have a different culture, and they don't, they've always been anti-gay. Let me just say that. I'm not going to use the term homophobic because that's a different energy. Let's just say they've always been anti-gay or whatever the case may be. And that is their prerogative. If those are the laws in their country, that's their prerogative. Whether or not I agree with them, I'm not going to get into that. But I think you all know whether or not I agree with them or not. But it's not a question of whether or not I agree with them. The question is this: what is next? See, people are so quick to jump on bandwagons. See, this is how people get in trouble. Even some of you so-called homophobic people or anti-gay people here in the United States who don't like gay people or LGBT people. And again, I'm not one of those LGBT people that needs a straight friend to support me. I don't need your support. You will respect me though, just like I'll respect you if you deserve it. I don't need your support for me being gay. What I do in my bedroom is my motherfucking business. I don't want to be around your children. I don't want to be around children. Okay? I don't want to, tell children about what I'm doing in the bedroom. I'm not dressing up in drag, going to no schools. I'm not doing any of that shit. So I just want to make that clear. And I'm not making it clear because I want validation. I'm just letting you know the type of gay person that I am. Because all gay people are not the fucking same. But I was reading the comments in or on that particular video that was detailing the Ugandan government banning LGBT people or criminalizing homosexuality rather. And I was reading the comments and you had a lot of comments from a lot of American people. One comment stuck out the most that really stuck out to me because see, this type of shit, what people don't understand is, but see, black people in general, they don't mind siding with racist as long as it supports something that they support. This is why I've always said that black people and white racists, sometimes they're intertwined when they have the same ideological preferences. We all know that most black people do not like gay people. We know that. I don't care how many people say, well, we already know that. Good it, got it, good, whatever. You ain't gotta like me. But when you start siding with racist, and when you start promoting and perpetuating things that bring out racism against other black people, that's a problem. I was reading the comments under the video, and one person said, and it really stuck out to me because it troubled my spirit. He said, well, I really normally, he or she, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but I picked up masculine energy. I could be wrong. He or she said, I normally don't applaud blacks, but for this, I applaud them. And then someone responded to his comment and said, well, blacks outside of the United States are different. They're not like, basically saying Africans are different than blacks in America. No, the fuck they're not. They can be just as ratchet. They can be just as motherfucking, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even find the word. They can be ratchet. They can be violent. They can be savage. Everything that you refer to as Black American culture, Black Africans can be exactly the same motherfucking way. Their women prostitute just like the women prostitute over here. Their men beat on their motherfucking women. And as a matter of fact, don't the men in one of those African countries, I think it was South Africa? I don't know which country it was, but didn't they believe by forcing themselves on babies would cure them of AIDS or HIV? So motherfucker, let's not go there. African blacks have a plethora of motherfucking problems. A plethora. They have a lot of fucking problems that are directly linked to colonialism, just like we do in America. So don't go there. Don't go there trying to act like they're better. They're not better. It's just that they come from a different culture. But they're not better. Some of them may have different behavioral patterns. Some of them may go to school, some of them may do X, Y, and Z, but don't make no motherfucking mistake about it. They also can be criminals. They also can be the down the in the underworld of society. I'm trying to find the words, child, because it's early. They also can be the most horrible, wicked people on the planet, like you describe black people in America. They can be like that too. They murder each other too. You don't think black Africans have inner cities where they're murdering each other in Cape Town or Johannesburg or in any other fucking African country? Let's not play this motherfucking game. But see, when you introduce bills like this is what you bring out. This is what you bring out. African men are known for beating their women. They're known for prostituting their women. African black men are known for indulging in homosexual acts with white tourist rich men from Europe and America. And then they go back to their wives and pretend that they're straight. And these are the same types of men that propose these types of fucking bills. Let's have a conversation. So I'm reading the comments of all these silly, disgusting people. Not because they have an issue. I get it. If you don't promote homosexuality, if that's not your thing, fine. You're not gay, that's fine. But for you to post that much hatred, for you to post that much visceral for people you don't even know personally, or maybe you do, because a lot of you have gay people around you and you don't even know that the person is gay. You laugh and grin up in these people's faces and you don't even know that they're gay. You don't even know. But here's my thing. As I was reading the comments, and I was reading the comments from people who were American identified in the comment section, who were saying that they were American and they wished that America would do the same exact thing by banning homosexuality and making it a criminal offense. Truth be motherfucking told, that's what they're doing now in America. America has never been a gay-friendly fucking country. It's still not a gay-friendly country. So what the fuck are you talking about? Now, I understand that parents, and I'm going to be honest with you, I understand that parents don't want drag queens coming up to the school, dressing in drag and walking around in, provocative garments around their children. I understand that. No, drag queens should not be motherfucking doing that. I agree. I get that. No issue with that. And I don't give a fuck who gets offended by that. It should be up to the parent on what they want to expose their children to. But my question is this. What kind of ripple effects is that going to have across the spectrum? Because the United States is walking a thin line when it comes to LGBT rights. It's walking a very thin line. It is not unfeasible. It is not unthinkable for that to happen in certain states within the United States. Because they've already banned drag queens in one of those states down south. I think, is it Tennessee? Alabama? One of those states. I don't remember which one. But they've already banned drag queens or drag shows or something like that. So it's not unthinkable for this to have ripple effects. The United States does not have a very good track record with gay people. White men are some of the most homophobic. White men are some of the most homophobic, followed by their black male counterparts. They're some of the most homophobic. So you know this country is not built on a LGBT friendly foundation. Get it? I got it. But for all of you people who are supporting this bill in Uganda, I have a question for you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when it's not just homosexuality that's criminalized? Because see, you're not looking at the bigger picture. Because most of you are not spiritual, you're practical. You're not spiritual. No matter how many scriptures you can memorize, you're not spiritual. Because memorizing scripture does not make you spiritual. It just means you're a good memorizer. Being able to quote from certain scriptures does not make you proficient in spirit. It just means you're proficient in memorizing those words and saying them. It's all practicality because people are practical and people are followers. Because in actuality, anybody that is agreeing with that bill, especially if you are a black person, you are signing your own warrant to genocide. And not just black people either. If you are any type of person, you are signing your own warrant to genocide. Here's what I'm talking about. Who's to say that this is just a test dummy, a test run dummy, or whatever you call it? Who's to say that this is just a test to see if this will work in Uganda? Because you have to remember, Uganda, you are a guinea pig. No, you are a guinea pig. Because remember, back in the 1940s, when the remaining Jewish people were, when they, how can I put it? The remaining Jewish people that were victims of the Holocaust in the 1940s, the United States and I believe the United Nations wanted to find a place for them. Uganda was one of the first places that they thought about placing them. But then instead they put them in Israel. But Uganda was one of the first places. So Uganda, you don't even control your own fucking country. You're still under the energy of colonialism. So you're a guinea pig. They use Africa as a guinea pig for what they want to do in the rest of the world. And that's always been the case. Just like AIDS and HIV, they say it started in Africa, allegedly. Let's just go with that. And then it spread to the rest of the world. Just like they used the LGBT community when they experimented on the LGBT community during the AIDS epidemic, it's the same thing with passing this bill to criminalize homosexuality in Uganda. It's the same thing. But people are not seeing that. They're not seeing that this is going to get bigger and it's going to become less. It's going to become less and less about homosexuality and more about just intruding and being intrusive in your lives, where the government and Big Brother is going to be watching you. When that reporter said that this bill, the details of this bill, is the government of Uganda wants people to turn in their relatives who they know are committing homosexual acts. They don't even want people to be able to have housing if you're gay. It will be a criminal offense to rent to a gay person in Uganda. That sounds more like a draconian type of government. And if you really look at the way that the world is moving, taking the homosexuality out of it, if you really look at the way that the world is moving, it's moving in that way. It's moving in that way. And I guarantee you that most of the people under that video about that bill that the Ugandan government passed to criminalize homosexuality, I guarantee that most of those motherfucking niggas and most of that white trash under that fucking video, I guarantee you most of them were fucking Christians. But you say you against the Antichrist, but you're embracing the Antichrist energy because that's Antichrist energy. That's Antichrist energy. That's Antichrist energy. To run to the government and tell on your relatives, oh, that person is homosexual. That's against the law. In a lot of those end time apocalyptic movies where they deal with biblical end time events or so-called biblical end time events, you would have people calling the police on their relatives, telling the government that these people are reading the Bible and still worshiping Jesus in secret, and then the people would get killed. You would have people turning their relatives in saying, oh, they didn't have the mark of the beast. And then they would get killed. But these are your Christians now. They're following this. It's one thing to not be into homosexuality and not being for it. That's one thing. Get it, got it. We've lived like we've dealt with that for years. You stay in your lane, I stay in my motherfucking lane. Don't bring your kids around me. I don't want to be around your motherfucking kids. I don't want to influence your motherfucking children. Keep your kids over there with you. No disrespect, but I'm just saying. I'm not related to them. I have no interest in nobody's children. I have no interest in teaching nobody's children about homosexuality. That's me. That's for the parents to teach them about different people in the world, not me. They're not my offspring. But for you to be for a bill that is going to encourage family members to turn their relatives in just because they're gay, to have American people to support an uncivilized, savage type of bill in that way, it's not about the homosexual part. It's the bigger vision. It's the bigger picture of what is to come. And this bill is only a small spectrum of what is to come. And it's going to have global ripple effects. They're doing a test dummy run of it in Uganda first. And then if that goes well, then they're going to start criminalizing sex between men and women. They're going to say, well, no. No copulation. No unauthorized copulation, just like they did in American Horror Story, The Apocalypse. Remember when Miss Venable told those two nice-looking young people, the nice-looking white boy and the nice-looking black girl, Miss Venable told them, no unauthorized copulation. It's right in front of your face. It's just that they're starting with gay people right now. Like they always do, they start with smaller communities. They start with the smaller communities to see how it will work. Same thing they did with HIV. They started with the gay community and then it spread like like a wildfire. No unauthorized copulation. It's going to get to a place where they're going to be controlling who you can sleep with and who you can't sleep with, and if you can even get pregnant. They're already trying to control the narrative of a woman's body. They're already trying to control that. They're already trying to tell women, oh, how you should get orgasms. And, I was reading some ridiculous article, although it may have been true, but I'm like, come on now, Yahoo. I was reading some article where they were talking about women's orgasms and, and how, women what did they say? Women they don't have the same orgasms, I guess, as men have. No shit. It takes a longer time for a woman to orgasm than it does a man. And the sad thing is, a lot of these so-called straight men, I can make women orgasm better than you because you don't know what to do. Because you don't like eating pussy. I've said that before. But they want to criminalize homosexuality in Uganda. They want to criminalize homosexuality in Uganda. But criminalizing that in Uganda is going to have a ripple effect across the globe eventually. And people are going to see it. It's only Uganda right now. And I'm not even talking about the criminalizing homosexuality. I'm talking about criminalizing other things that we take for granted. Telling people who they can procreate with. Telling people who they can date. Telling people who they should be attracted to. Selective, what do they call it? I just mentioned it a couple of minutes ago. Selective, I'm going to call it selective choice when it comes to who can have children. See, that's what all of this is leading up to. It's leading up to that. And you had people in the comment section that were applauding this draconian type of motherfucking energy, saying that they wish they would do the same thing in the United States. Man, let me tell you motherfuckers something. Most of you niggas, black and white, I'm calling both of y'all, most of you niggas that don't like gay people, we don't like you either. Most of you motherfucking niggas that feel a way, nobody, even women are not attracted to you. So what makes you think that we are? Half of you niggas, I be trying to avoid half of you straight motherfucking niggas. But y'all always laughing and grinning up in my face, and I'm not talking about the ones that I'm cool with, that watch my videos. I'm not talking about you all. I'm talking about the ones who feel like this. Of course, most straight men feel a ways about homosexuality. That's fine. But when you try to place yourself in a position to degrade and to say to a person, you don't have the right to exist. You don't have a right to live your life simply because I don't like it. Okay, if you want to go after certain people for doing certain things, that's one thing. If you want to go after gay people who are committing crimes, who are violating laws, or who are violating morality, then you do that. But for you to go after an entire community that has done nothing to you, most of which, how you gonna prove who gay or not? How you gonna prove it? Oh, that's right. They're gonna have family members call into the Ugandan police departments and tell them, oh, my relatives is gay, and that's against the law. That's what they want. But most of you motherfucking niggas that was posting under that comment section, I guarantee you, most of them are single. I guarantee you, most of them are like that bitch motherfucker that attacked J Love 47 because he was homophobic too. That guy that attacked J Love 47, he was homophobic too. I guarantee you, most of them are like that, sitting around beating up on their mothers and beating up on women. The only reason he attacked J Love 47 with that box cutter was because J Love 47 was whooping his motherfucking ass. That is why he attacked him, because he was bitch made. And J Love 47 was more man than he was and is. So nobody wants most of you. Y'all niggas be up in my motherfucking face. I don't fuck with you. I don't fuck with you. Then y'all getting y'all feelings when I be like, nigga, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be your fucking friend. Listen, I am a loner. I have a few couple of intimate friends, or whatever, but I'm a loner. I don't want to be, listen, it ain't straight people. It's all people. I just don't fuck with people like that. I don't fuck with other gay people like that. I don't fuck with other straight people like that. I like to stay to myself because I'm not a codependent person. It doesn't mean that you don't need people sometimes. It just means I'm comfortable being by myself. I'm comfortable being me. I came into this world by myself and I'm going to leave this motherfucker by myself. And all of them motherfucking niggas up in that Ugandan parliament, all of them niggas up in that parliament, all of them. It's the same fucking concept. Let's see who's going to be taking care of you on your deathbed in one of those nursing homes or one of those assisted facilities. You know how many gay people work in that in that career? You know how many gay people work in that area of expertise? Men and women, but especially a lot of women. But they're trying to create a draconian society, and people are not looking at it, and people are accepting it. You're accepting the mark of the beast, and you don't even know it. You're accepting it. You're accepting antichrist types of energies and behaviors already. But then you say you're Christian. Because I'm sure a lot of them are going by Christian values or so-called Christian values, or should I say fake Christian values. Isn't it interesting that the Bible says that man shall not lay with man as he should with woman in Leviticus? You know, that's the scripture that every Christian likes to point out. But isn't it interesting that the Bible does not condemn pedophilia? Isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting the Bible does not condemn beating on women? But they do condemn the woman's cycle. They do condemn that. They did that back in the Garden of Eden. And I do believe there's even a verse in Leviticus that talks about how man shall not lie with woman if she's on her cycle. And if the woman allows the man to lie with her, to lay with her, that woman shall be put to death or something like that. Isn't it interesting? They don't, in the Bible. But see, I was watching something a while back, and a person was breaking down what Leviticus really meant, because see, you have to really look at it from a spiritual eye. And what this person was saying was making a lot of sense. He was saying that the Bible, when it was talking about man shall not lay with man as he does woman, they were saying that back during that time when that was written during the Romans, during their rule, during when the Romans ruled and they were changing different fractions of the Bible, a lot of those masculine Roman soldiers were actually having relationships with more effeminate men. These Roman soldiers were married, they had children, but they had sex with more effeminate men or lady boys. And basically what this person was saying was the Bible's reference to homosexuality was really misinterpreted. They were talking about two masculine men laying up in the bed together. That is really what the problem was, and that's what Leviticus or God was condemning. The man was breaking it down. I'm not saying it was true or not, but That does sound a little feasible. You get what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people ain't gonna like this, and I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what you like. Fuck you and your likes. It's time that people grew the fuck up. So all of those people that are accepting what Uganda wants to do, you're basically accepting that Antichrist energy into your life. So you can't get mad once shit starts to hit the fan and once you and your family are affected by it. You can't get mad when they start criminalizing sex, period, between consenting adults, unless you're authorized to copulate. Because see, that's what's coming down the pipeline eventually. That's where all of this is leading to. In China, they already have a restriction on how many children you can have because there's so many people over in China and it's overpopulated. And this is what you people, you want. You're supporting this. You're supporting it now, of course, because it's gay people that are the sacrifice. But what are you going to do when it's you and your family and your children that are the sacrifice? What are you going to do then when let's just say they eradicate all of us gay people all off of the earth? Then who do you think they're going to work on? Once all of us are gone, once we're raptured out, as you all say, because y'all gonna be pretty motherfucking mad when your so-called Jesus come back and the people that he raptures off ain't gonna be the people that you think. Those who think they will, let me say it this way, those who think they will, won't. Those who think they won't, will. What are you gonna do then? When the people that you see Jesus taking with him, and I'm only speaking in layman practical terms, I don't mean literally, but let's just say, just to give people an image, when you see the people that Jesus is taking with him, and you're going to be standing there with your Bible, no. You were nasty. You were judgmental. You didn't defend people. You allow. The reason that wicked shit keeps happening is because good men remain silent. That is why there are going to be a lot of good people in hell. We're going to have church today, honey. So go ahead and support that bill. All of the people that were in that comment section supporting that bill, you're going to also share in the curse that's already on a lot of those African countries. Africa is cursed. Africa is cursed. And that is why they have the issues and the problems that they do, because they disrespected the ancestors. And I don't give a fuck who gets mad about what I'm saying. They betrayed the ancestors. They betrayed the ancestors. They betrayed the ancestors. And this is their punishment. So they can make all of the laws in Uganda and what's that other country over there? Yowanda, Lawanda, Bawanda. You can make all the laws criminalizing gay people or anything that you want. You can do all that. You can do all that. But it's not going to stop the curse that you walk in. It's not going to stop. Anyway, I'm done talking. I said everything I had to say. I just had to get that off my chest. And again, it's really not, it's more so the bigger picture of what is going to come after this. So once they get this ball rolling, what are they going to criminalize next? Are we going to go back to the days where women had no rights? Is that what's next on the agenda? And that's to the women that support this bill over there in Uganda. Because from what I'm hearing, especially up there, and I know African countries, they're all different and different diversities and stuff like that. But from what I'm hearing, the black women over there in Africa are having a very hard time right now because of the men prostituting them, the husbands leaving the women homeless with children. A lot of the African women over there are being murdered. Their organs are being harvested. But these motherfuckers in Uganda are worried about homosexuality. And it's probably not even a whole lot of homosexuality even over there in Uganda. It's probably not. Because that's just not a place where homosexuality thrives. Mm. What a world, what a world, what a world, what a world. Anyway, that's all I have to say.